Welcome to How Much Things. Today, we are answering a massive question. How much tax money does the United States government collect every year? You might think the answer is simple, but it is not, because the U.S. government does not collect just one type of tax. It collects hundreds of different taxes, fees, charges, duties, and contributions. And every year, these numbers change. Some years, the government collects more. Some years, the government collects less. Sometimes, the economy grows. Sometimes, it slows down. Sometimes, people earn more money. Sometimes, businesses earn less money. And depending on all that, tax revenue rises or falls. So today, in this video, we are going to break everything down in very simple English. We will explore how much money the U.S. government collects from income taxes, how much money it collects from corporate taxes, how much money it collects from payroll taxes, and how tax revenue has changed in the last 50 years. By the end of the video, you will have a very clear understanding of how big the U.S. government truly is, and how big the U.S. tax system actually is. So, sit back, relax, and let's begin. When we ask how much money does the U.S. government collect every year, we are talking about federal revenue. Federal revenue is the money collected by the national government of the United States. This is different from what states collect. This is different from what cities collect. This is different from local taxes. Today, we focus only on federal-level tax money. The United States government mainly collects revenue from four giant sources: individual income taxes, payroll taxes, corporate income taxes, other miscellaneous taxes, and fees. These four groups make up almost all the government's income. And if you are wondering, is it a lot of money? Yes, it is one of the largest revenue collections on earth. So let's go step by step. The biggest source of tax money in the United States is individual income tax. This tax is collected directly from people who work jobs, earn salaries, run businesses, or make money in any form. Every month, a part of their income is automatically taken out and sent to the government. This is why when you look at your paycheck, you see federal income tax, Social Security tax, Medicare tax, and sometimes other deductions. Income tax is the main fuel that powers the U.S. government. Why? Because there are hundreds of millions of workers, and every single one of them contributes something. No matter if someone earns a small salary or a very big one, the government collects a portion. And because the U.S. economy is huge and millions of people are working, income tax becomes the biggest money stream. On average, in most recent years, the U.S. government collects trillions of dollars from income taxes alone. That is right, trillions. This one category alone is more money than the entire GDP of many countries. Income taxes are the government's #1 tool for funding national programs: the military, healthcare, infrastructure, and more. The second largest source of revenue is payroll taxes. These taxes fund Social Security, a monthly payment for retired people; Medicare, healthcare for older citizens and some disabled individuals. When workers receive their salary, a portion is cut as payroll tax. But here's the interesting part. It is not only the worker who pays. The employer also pays the same amount. This means, if a worker pays $100 in payroll tax, the employer also pays $100, so the government gets double. Payroll taxes make up a huge amount of the money the government collects. It is a very stable source because people pay it automatically, every paycheck, without skipping. And because the U.S. has millions of workers, this becomes a steady river of cash. The third category is corporate tax. This tax is collected from companies, big and small, when they earn profits. When a company makes money, it must pay a percentage to the government. This percentage changes depending on laws and economic policies. In some years, corporate taxes are high. In some years, they are lower. But one thing remains the same. Big American companies earn huge profits. Companies like Apple, Microsoft, Google, Tesla, Walmart, Amazon, and thousands more. Their profits are massive So even a percentage of those profits becomes a huge amount for the government. Corporate taxes do not bring as much money as individual income taxes, but they are still a very important part of the revenue stream. The fourth category is everything else. This includes customs duties. Tariffs, excise taxes on products like alcohol and tobacco, estate taxes, gift taxes, federal fees, and licenses, fines, and penalties. Interests earned by the government, these smaller categories together still generate billions of dollars. Alone, they may seem small, but combined, they play a key role in funding the government. Now that we understand how the U.S. government collects tax money, the next big question is this: where does all this money actually go? Every year, the U.S. government spends trillions of dollars. And this spending is divided into a few major categories. First, let's talk about mandatory spending. Mandatory spending means the government must pay it, no matter what. These are long-term programs promised to the people. The biggest part here is Social Security. This includes retirement benefits, disability benefits, and survivor benefits. Millions of Americans depend on Social Security every single month. Then we have Medicare. This program helps older people with healthcare costs, hospitals, medicines, surgeries, all covered through Medicare. And there is Medicaid, which helps low-income families and children with medical expenses. Together, these three programs take up a huge share of the budget. Next, we have discretionary spending. This is the part that government reviews and decides on every year. The largest share of discretionary spending goes to the military. The U.S. has one of the biggest defense budgets in the world. The money is used for soldiers' salaries, military bases, fighter jets, ships, nuclear weapons, maintenance, technology, research, and more. Other discretionary categories include education, transportation, scientific research, housing programs, homeland security, national parks, space exploration, NASA. Finally, we have interest on national debt. Because the U.S. government borrows money, it must also pay interest to lenders, just like a normal person paying interest on a loan. And this interest itself costs hundreds of billions of dollars every year. So when you look at the full picture, social programs, healthcare, military, and interest payments together consume almost all the tax money the U.S. collects. Today, collecting tax money is very different from how it used to be. In the past, people filled out forms by hand, mailed them, and waited for weeks. Now, everything is highly digital. The U.S. uses modern tools to collect taxes more efficiently, like 1. Electronic tax filing systems. Most Americans file their taxes online using the IRS e-file system. This allows faster processing and faster refunds. 2. Automatic payroll deductions. When people work a job, their employer automatically takes a portion of their paycheck and sends it to the government. This ensures taxes are collected consistently. 3. Data matching systems. The IRS compares the income reported by citizens with data received from employers, banks, and financial institutions. This helps reduce tax fraud. 4. Digital audits. AI and computer algorithms are now used to detect suspicious tax behavior. This allows the government to identify people who underreport income or claim false deductions. 5. Online payment platforms. People can pay their taxes using debit cards, credit cards, or direct bank transfers. Because of all these digital systems, the government is able to collect trillions of dollars smoothly and quickly. And that brings us to the end of today's video. We explored a very big question: how much tax money the U.S. government collects every single year, and how that money shapes everything from the economy to public services to daily life. If you enjoyed learning something new in a simple and easy way, then make sure to support the channel. Your one click really helps us grow. So please like the video, subscribe to How Much Things, and turn on the bell icon so you never miss our next deep and interesting breakdown. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video, where we explore another big question in a very simple way. Until then, take care.